I went from having zero experience and no college degree to closing six-figure deals as an account executive in less than 18 months, but I learned a lot of things along the way. So I'm about to tell you what nobody else will as you're trying to break into tech sales and give you the reasons why 90% of BDRs burn out in the first 6 months that they're hired. By the end of this video, you're gonna know how to vet every tech sales opportunity as a pro, learn from my mistakes, and set yourself up for success by avoiding common traps that most new reps run into that can destroy your career and make you feel like tech sales isn't for you. Here's the exact checklist that I followed to go from no degree, no experience to BDR to quota crushing AE today. So God actually really blessed me because I didn't have to deal with a lot of these companies that I'm about to go over with you of what to look out for. I almost got hired to one of them, but it didn't work out, which thank God, because the company I did get hired to, like I said, does not have any of these red flags. The first one that isn't talked about enough is the turn and burn model. A lot of times people will hire BDRs, have them go super hard, dangle a promotion in front of their head, and never promote them. And then once they ask about the promotion and they start getting burnt out, they turn and burn them and hire a new wave of BDRs. A way that you can identify this early if you get hired to a company is if they don't have a solid promotion track. If they just tell you just keep crushing quota and we'll get you there eventually, I would get out as soon as possible. If you land that job for your first tech sales job, be there for 6 months and then go work at another place that has a promising promotion track because it reduces the odds of them being a turn and burn company. Also, you can speak with other sales reps there, other account executives, look at their LinkedIn profiles. Did a lot of the AEs there get brought in from other companies or did they promote internally? If you see internal promotion, it's a great sign for you. If it's all external, poaching and bringing in externally, probably shouldn't stay there until you're account executive. But also to speak with other sales reps who've been there longer. If they haven't had a lot of sales reps that have been there for a long time, then I'd probably stay away. So I didn't get this job without going to college or having experience. And if you want to learn how I did that, it sounds too good to be true. I promise you I'm not lying. Look at my LinkedIn. I was a ice cream manager. I did sell Cutco knives, so I had some technical selling experience, but no actually tech sales experience. I have a free guide in the community below to show you how I did it. And there's like 370 other people in there. Free step-by-step guide, huge community. I'd love to see you in there. I'm only here to help. Back to the video. If you are an entry-level rep and you've never been in tech sales before, don't go into a startup because you want to be around seasoned sales reps that know what they're doing. And a lot of times startups are trying to figure that out, which leads into my next point. Remote isn't always the best thing for beginners. If you're remote, yes, you have the freedom to be with your family and you have to deal with commute. However, you want to be around people physically to hear how people open up their cold calls and not have to go through the call log to see that. You want to be able to spend time with the top performing SDRs and BDRs and just get face-to-face time. Get face-to-face time with your manager. Build that personal relationship so God forbid layoff comes, you're not the first on their list to lay off. You just get a better understanding of what it takes to succeed when you're around success. And it's hard to do that when you're remote. And it's really easy to get burnt out when you're remote too. When you're not around a team hustling and grinding, you're not in a sales bullpen, they call it. It's easy just to get lackadaisical and not cold call all day. Another really big red flag that you want to look for is if they always talk about your OTE. So if they're offering a lower base salary, let's say $40,000, $45,000, even $50,000. Okay, 50 is reasonable in the United States. It is on the lower end, but it's not like red flaggy. 40, 45 is. And if they're promising you a higher OTE, where if you hit your quota, OTE is on target earnings. If you hit your quota, you'll make 80 grand. A lot of times the OTE is out of this world so that you work your ass off. And if you miss the mark, you're still making them profit, but you're not technically hitting quota. And they have an excuse to turn you over in 12 months when you get burnt out. In the interview process, if you identify a red flag like this, make sure you speak with at least 3 other SDRs and ask them, how many people are hitting quota realistically? Do you think the quota is attainable? How much money can I expect to make my first year? Is 70, 80,000 realistic what they're telling me? If they give you any hesitation because they don't want to get yelled at the manager for you exiting out of the job hunt process after you spoke with them, see that as a red flag. A lot of times the sales reps will want to be honest with you, but sometimes they won't because they're scared for their job and they don't want to get chewed out. Like, hey, Lucas said he spoke with you one-on-one, now he's not interviewing with us. What'd you tell him, right? So all things that you want to be very skeptical about. The more applicants there are out there, there's a ton of competition. The more companies that are out there that are looking to take advantage of the desperate competition trying to land their first job. Waiting for the wind to die down so you can hear me. And so that's pretty much everything for the red flags you want to look for. And here's some other job hunt tips that nobody told me I had to find out the hard way. When you're on your job hunt, your certifications don't matter, but your abilities to succeed do, and your industry knowledge also does as well. You ever ask yourself, why do they require 1 to 2 years of experience if it's an entry-level role? Because they're looking for people that know how to succeed on the job. So if you're gonna pay for a boot camp, don't cheat the test and expect the certification to land you your role. That's what I did, and it did not work out. They don't care about your certification. They care about your ability to succeed on the job. And so whether it's a boot camp, or just studying my YouTube channel, or other salespeople online that talk about cold outreach, you need to understand how to do cold outreach effectively and the soft skills that it takes to succeed on the role, so that if they ask you, why should we hire you, you can explain to them that you know what it takes. Also, they'll be able to see right through this in your mock interview, in your mock cold call in your interviews. When you're doing a mock cold call, if you have an opener that goes, hey John, can I take 20 seconds of your time to tell you why I'm calling? Or, hey John, how are you? They're gonna know you don't know how to do the job. Study your cold call skills, your email skills, get it down to the T, and you'll be more valuable in your job hunt process. Let's say we get our foot in the door. Here are 2 things that nobody talks about in tech sales that you should probably know before you enter. You are measured on outcomes you're not fully in control of. Your account executive, his job or her job is to close your business that you set up for them. If they're bad closers, you won't bring in the revenue and you'll be looked at down the road. However, if you're setting up good meetings and the AE can't close, odds are they're gonna keep you and not the AE, but it's just something to keep it top of mind. You're not fully in control of the revenue you bring in, and that is a quota. You do have a quota revenue. The second thing is the emotional roller coaster. You're gonna make 100 calls a day. You might not get a meeting. When you do get a meeting, you feel like you're at the top of the world. Or some weeks you might crush your quota, get 5 meetings in a week. Next week you might not get one. Maybe you're in a month-long slump. If you can't get through the doubt and the voices in your head telling you that you're not good enough, this probably isn't meant for you, because it is a lot of pressure. And if you're behind on quota, you feel like, at least me, I'm a very anxious person. It's very hard to get over. And the only way to do it is just keep pounding the phones and improving the quality of your outreach. So between the red flags to look at, what to expect on the job, it was a pretty negative Nelly outlook on the tech sales job hunt process, but it's important to talk about those things because not a lot of people do mention them. If you feel like you need help in your job hunt, I have a free guide in the community below, step-by-step process how to break into tech for free, and I'll see you in there.